All right, now we're going to talk about real estate appraisals versus business valuations. And I'm going to go into a bit about real estate appraisals so that it's easier to be able to grasp what the details are of a real estate appraisal and how it correlates over to the business valuation. If we don't understand where we're coming from, it's hard to understand where we're going to. And the reason why I'm picking real estate appraisals is it's the most common understood dynamic that's even in proximity to a business valuation selling a company. And so once you see the structure of a appraisal for real estate, you'll realize how different it is for business valuation. And then, of course, the expectations will be able to change and be flexible and then be aligned with the process of selling your business and valuing it versus a real estate appraisal. So let's get to it. Okay, so I'm going to make two columns here. One is there are fixed dynamics that influence the appraisal of real estate. And then there are dynamic aspects, and these are going to be fluctuating, and I'm going to call these market dynamics on here. Okay, so and I'm just going to put in here just as a reminder what it is that we're kind of talking about real estate appraisal. Okay, and so what is it that I'm doing that's on this side? I want to be able to kind of represent also by shape some of these different dynamics. Now, one of the fixed things is you can't change the school year. If somebody is going to be coming in and buying your house, they will be looking at the school district probably, but you can't change the school district. Another aspect that's going to be dynamic to the market is the time of year that the house buyer is shopping. If they're shopping in January, they're not going to be as motivated as they would be in July or August when they're trying to find a house and get the family into a house before the school year. So price will go up on a house because of the market dynamics at the time of year, but it's not going to change because of the school district. Also, another dynamic is there a view, right? So these are mountains, by the way. That's my amazing artistic ability. So is there any view involved? It could be ocean, it could be mountains, etc. What's the view? Now, you may put a price point on the appraisal of the house, but the seller perspective is, sorry, got that misspelling there. The seller's perspective of how much that view is valuable or not is what's going to influence and negotiate that price point a little bit. Also, you're going to have a dynamic of how many bedrooms, and so you can't change that. But on the buyer's side, the market dynamic is the family size, and also the curb appeal. So a family with 3 kids is going to be more excited about multiple bedrooms, but if the curb appeal doesn't line up, then it doesn't matter how many bedrooms there are. They're just not going to participate. And then, of course, is dealing with, this is an amazing sports car, by the way. And then here's the minivan. So how many garage spaces are there? Is there even a garage? If you're in a city, you don't have a garage. If you're in the suburbs, then hopefully you've got at least a 2-car garage, if not a 3-car garage. So again, those are fixed dynamics of the house. It's going to be on the multiple listing. But the bigger picture is, sure, you may have a garage, but does it fit in the neighborhood appeal to that neighborhood and also into that community appeal, right? So there may be nicer areas of a city than others that are like, oh, we want to be in the Lakeview district, or certain neighborhoods that are down near a pond or they're near the river bend and they've got the best view, et cetera, et cetera. So as you can see now, there are fixed dynamics to a piece of property, but there's also market dynamics that influence the total price, right? So what's the next thing that comes along? The next thing that's going to come along on the valuing of a house are going to be the comps, right, or the comparisons, and they're going to try to make that as direct as possible, apples to apples comparison. So I'm just going to kind of label these here. All right, so that's going to play into the appraisal. Now, what comes in next, right, is, sorry for the example here. the fixed aspects of a house start the point of pricing, then the comps play into it, and then the market dynamics, the season of the year, the curb appeal, etc. And so with those three things, those all add up, and that's going to come up with a appraisal. But that appraisal is also going to be influenced a little bit by what your buyer perceives is going on in the last couple months or in the next couple days, or there's a hot market for condos that have 3 bedrooms and tandem garages, etc. And that's going to come up with the listing price. And as we mentioned in the last segment, that listing price may start here, but there's a little bit of wiggle room, a couple percentage that can go back and forth, okay? And so now that we have a base understanding of how real estate is appraised and derives a point, the next section is going to talk about the similarities and differences of fixed and dynamics that influence the business valuation.